Good morning and welcome to Rattray Head in Aberdeenshire. So I drove up yesterday, stayed in a hotel last night, and I stayed in a hotel in Peterhead, which is not far from here, and I came down about half an hour before sunrise this morning, and I'm so glad that I did because the light was absolutely gorgeous. Obviously we've still got a fair bit of cloud left over from Storm Ciara, but the wind this morning was unreal. My fingers are probably, you probably can't see them, but they're red raw just now. The wind was terrible, so bad that I'm having to vlog in the car just now. It's still pretty bad. So although Glasgow's been hit just now with snow and ice and hail and all sorts of stuff, the Aberdeenshire coastline is pretty much untouched by Storm Ciara. Apart from the wind is still pretty horrendous. I think at the moment there's 30 mile an hour wind and I think it's like 50 mile an hour gust just now, and you can visibly see that on the waves. The waves are actually being blown back into the water. It's amazing to watch. So I came down here about half an hour before sunrise and got the beautiful sort of pre-dawn light on the lighthouse and just behind the lighthouse. Now obviously it was quite tricky to try and incorporate both of them because the light was quite kind of far off to the right. So it's quite tricky to get that light right behind the lighthouse because of where it was positioned. But I think I managed to get a few photographs using some really awesome foreground of some of the sort of water runoffs into the water, and then obviously with the lighthouse in the background and some of that light as well, and it just looks brilliant. So I snapped probably about 3 or 4 different compositions using different bits of foreground and different, obviously when the light changed I shot even more as well. At the moment the sun is pretty much fully risen. It's been up for about 20 minutes, but and it does look lovely, but it's very white light at the moment, which I wasn't really wanting. I was wanting that nice soft pastel pinks, and I think I've definitely got that this morning. But yeah, really beautiful place to come down to, and the one thing I will warn you about if you come down is preferably come down with a 4x4, because as soon as you come off the main road and you come down a sort of farm track, it ends at some point and the road is unbelievably bad. There's potholes everywhere. It makes East Dunbartonshire actually look quite good. So I'm going to attempt to drive back down this road, and I'm going to go to location number 2. I'm filming this on Tuesday, so you'll be seeing this next week, and I'm here till tomorrow, so I'm going to spend the whole day just travelling and working my way down the coast of Aberdeenshire, and I hope you look forward to it because I'm really excited. Let's go do it. You're managing to hear me just now. So obviously after Rattray Head I decided to drive down to a place called Cruden Bay, and Cruden Bay is this very famous part of Scottish history on the Aberdeenshire coast. So this is Slains Castle. It's absolutely fantastic. It's very well photographed, but it's very dangerous. It's literally on the edge of a cliff, which makes it very difficult when you're standing in the aftermath of Storm Ciara and there's winds battering you. And I was a bit daft. I went down on the cliff edge to have a look to see if I could get a picture of the light hitting, or sort of the morning light hitting the front of the castle where the sort of massive window is on this side. I could actually feel the wind blowing me back, so I abandoned that very quickly and came back up inside the castle just to have a look at it. Never actually been inside the castle before. The last time I was here it was pitch black. I think it was middle of winter. It was like November time and it was freezing cold, and I couldn't see anything, and it was quite spooky. And it is still quite spooky, but it's also very cool, and it's obviously a bit better during the day because you can see what's happening. It's amazing that so much of this is still intact. It's got so much character to it as well, and the fact that you can just freely walk about it is amazing. They need to make a feature of this. There's enough rooms and stuff left that they can turn it into sort of like an Arctic castle type of deal for people to actually come and see, but they would need to make it safe, and they'd need to block off all the cliffways and build new pathways and fencing and stuff like that to make it safe. Yeah, so I'm just enjoying myself. I'm having a bit of an adventure just now, having a wee wander around here. I've managed to get some pictures here. I did also get some pictures of just the cliffs, although the light's not great, but it's okay. Obviously it's not like, it's quite bright now because it's about 9:30 in the morning. So I think the next plan of action is to go for a walk down to see if we can actually find the Cruden Bay beach. I've heard there might be some sea stacks down there, so I'm going to go and have a wee look. Welcome to Cruden Bay. This is Port Errol and it's absolutely stunning. Look at all that white sand. It's just beautiful, but the mid-morning sun is far too high in the sky to actually get any photographs. But what that was quite good for was getting some abstract pictures. Now, as you can probably see behind me and also in the B-roll, the strength of the wind is actually pushing that sand across the floor and it's creating this sort of slipstream effect on the sand and it looks absolutely amazing. But what it's doing is it's creating patterns in the sand, and I found some really cool stripes up beside the big massive bit of driftwood. The driftwood itself is probably about, I would say, about 8 foot long, but the way that I compose a shot, it makes it look like quite a cool abstract image, and that high sun really helps to sort of bring out that contrast as well, and the driftwood, it looks really, really cool. A bit of an unexpected picture. I didn't expect to get anything down here because it is just a beach with some beautiful waves, but this apparently all when the tide's in, this is all water, and apparently you can swim in it, so but I think it'd be far too cold for that today. So now we're going to head further down the coast and see where else we end up. But I think we're going to head towards Stonehaven, and if you know Stonehaven, you know that there's millions of sort of rocky outcrops down there that we're going to go and try and find. A bit silly again, sitting on the edge of this amazing cliff face, and what I've been doing is I've been shooting 2 different exposures. I've been shooting 2 seconds to catch some of that motion in the water. I'm in a slightly safer position now. I've come further down the coast. I'm at a bit called Dunnottar Sea Stack, and it's just there, and it overlooks Dunnottar Castle, which is just there, and we're right in the middle of Goldner. It's absolutely perfect. The actual shale of the beach isn't being lit, but I've kind of bracketed my exposures a little bit just to try and catch the detail in the stones, and then also the light hitting the sea stacks at the back, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. Another one of those locations where it completely overwhelms you when you get here. Also very, very dangerous. As you can see, I'm at a bench just now, or maybe not actually, but there's a massive drop just behind me, so it's very, very dangerous, and keep your wits about you up here because it's very windy today as well. I'm hoping to come back here in the summertime when it's a little bit less windy and try and get the drone up here. I think this is an ideal candidate for drone photography. I mean, look at the sea stacks up the back, they're fantastic, but it's far too windy today. We're still hitting 30 mile an hour winds just now, so far too windy for the drone. We'll probably end up losing it in that water. See from the B-roll, I'm at Dunnottar Castle, and no tour of the Aberdeenshire coastline would be complete without a wee trip to Dunnottar and Slains castles, which I've done both of today, and they were fantastic. The only thing about Dunnottar is I got here around about golden hour, so I did get some light on the castle, but I stayed for sunset. The light's not great just now, but I mean, it's alright, but it's not great. There's not really any colour in the sky at all. I was hoping even for some pastel pinks, but there's nothing at all. And compared to the sunrise that we got this morning, this is just pitiful. So this is a bit disappointing. But Dunnottar Castle itself is gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. It's quite dramatic and stuff on that cliff edge as well. And definitely worth seeing if you haven't been here before. Just before I came here, I went to visit, what was the name of that waterfall again? Cowlick or something?
Cross something.
What was it called? Just before I came here I went to a place called Cruden Waterfall. It's basically a waterfall that comes off the edge of a cliff, and it was quite cool. Very difficult to get to. Easy parking, but it's in someone's land, so you kind of have to walk a little bit down the road to get to the fence where you can actually get a good view of it, but it is lovely when you actually get to see it. When I arrived the sun was sort of hitting the side of the waterfall, so it wasn't fully illuminating it, but it wasn't, it was sort of hitting the top of it, which looked quite pretty. So I did get a couple of shots down there as well. All in all, my tour of the Aberdeenshire coast looks like it's going to be cut short because I can't get a hotel tonight. They're all fully booked because of the storm that's faffing about Scotland at the moment. So I'm going to have to drive home and hopefully I'll get through Glasgow and Stirling, because it's currently snowing there just now, and as you know my car can't drive in the snow, so even though I've spent such a short time in Aberdeenshire, I feel like I've got quite a lot done, and I feel like I've got to see quite a lot of it. I've completely missed out the top of the coast though. I'm going to keep that for when I do the Northeast 250 tour, and hopefully going to do that in summer. I think Aberdeenshire is definitely somewhere to come and visit in the summer months. Number one, there's no midges. Number two, the weather is amazing, and number three, it's less windy. The wind has beaten me back quite a lot today. When I was trying to vlog, I couldn't hear what I was saying. I was trying to show you some beautiful views and vlog at the same time, and it just wasn't happening, even with my mic attached. So yeah, the wind was beating me back quite a bit today, and it's definitely more worthwhile, I think, coming back in the summer. So the Northeast 250, I'm hoping to do that in the summertime, and I'm also hoping to do the North Coast 500 probably March, April time when there's no midges again. It's all depending on the midges with me, you know I don't like midges. So technically this video has actually been part 3 of my Scotland's Coast and Water series as well. I didn't actually mention that at the start, but technically it is. I've pretty much spent 2 days at the coast and it's been fantastic. Look out for more coast videos coming up this year as well. All the photographs that I have from today's video, I'll post them at the end as usual. Hope you've enjoyed coming along on this wee journey with me, and until next week, I'll see you soon. Bye!